Hey there, my friends. Welcome to this episode of A Sexy Confident Life. I'm here to talk about our relationship with food. And I'm wearing my also appropriate tank top. Eat like you love yourself. That's right. And I love that saying because if we all did just fuel our body and eat the foods that made us feel our best, man, wouldn't we just feel different every day, all day, right? So today I'm going to teach you guys, or I'm going to share with you 4 different ways I have had a very healthy relationship with food. I feel like our relationship with food is just as important as our relationship with another person, with our family, with our friends, with our children, with our coworkers. Our relationship with food is something that we deal with every day, right? We wake up, we eat. We eat all day long. And we have to remember that if this relationship is toxic or it's disordered, we're gonna struggle. We're gonna struggle with our energy. We're gonna struggle with our feelings of, just satisfaction, and the quality of our life goes down. And I'm not talking here about those of you that might have struggled with eating disorders and have really gone through traumatic experiences like that and have been through therapy and are still working through therapy. Because this isn't about eating disorders. This is about disordered eating, which means that you're relating food to the wrong things, or you have a bad relationship with how you're eating. How many of you guys have ever, skipped meals because you ate too much the meal before? Or how many of you feel like, oh, when I'm overweight, I just tend to just eat less and just slash my calories? Or if you're going through some kind of emotional experience, whether it's joy or whether it's sadness, you use food as a tool to recover or to cope. How many of you just totally have this habit of eating sweets after every meal? That's a thing that, I commonly hear. Maybe you use food as a reward or as punishment for things that are happening in your life. That isn't healthy. That's not a healthy relationship, right? And you know it. I mean, many of you out there are like, God, I wish I didn't always decide like, oh, it's been a hard day, or I worked out today, so I'm going to reward myself with this awesome burger and fries, right? And I'm not here to say that burger and fries is not something you should give to yourself. I'm saying the reasons why you eat it aren't healthy if it's to reward yourself for a tough day or a hard workout, right? So today I'm going to walk through 4 different steps that really kind of change your perspective on food and how you can start to really think about your relationship so that it's one of quality and essence and love, and not one of negativity and punishment and deprivation, so that you can stop going on these diets and stop looking for a magical cure for either weight gain and roller coaster diets that you've been on, or just this struggle to eat healthy consistently. Because I know there's so many people that just want food to just be this thing that's not controlling their life. It's just a part of their life, and it's something they actually enjoy. So many people struggle with food to the point that they don't even enjoy it, right? It's this constant mental battle that they go through all day long. And this is for those of you that haven't been through an eating disorder, but you've been challenged with this struggle because you have goals and you've tried certain things diet-wise with food. And so your body is just confused about how to really have a healthy relationship and be able to have a balance of good and consistent eating habits, along with, the stuff that we have in this world, like the junky foods, the cakes, the sweets, and all that stuff, because that stuff has a place in our life. It just shouldn't have a home in our world, right? So I'm going to jump into this really quick, and I'm going to go through it kind of step by step. And, take what you want, leave the rest, right? Maybe you're feeling freaking awesome with your food relationship. Maybe you could improve it just a little bit, right? I believe that if we are always open to learning and growing, then we're getting better every day, right? So if you have a great relationship with your food, awesome. Maybe something you hear today can help you improve it just a little bit and make you feel even better. Maybe it's something you can share with a friend. I'm all about just let's spread what's working. Let's share the love. Let's make sure that we're a society that's healthy and growing and thriving and not feeling deprived and always struggling and suffering because of food. Food is a nurturing element. It's what gives us life. We want to have something that feels good every day and nurtures us to have the energy to live and do our best, right? Ultimately, that is the goal. So let's eat like you love yourself. Now, number one, this first one is, I want you to think about picking foods that make you feel like $1,000,000. That's right. Let that sit for a second. Pick foods that make you feel like $1,000,000. Doesn't that sound great? Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna choose food that makes me feel energized and satisfied and good and and not bloated and tired and drained and unsatisfied and hungry a few hours later. So when you're choosing your food and you're deciding what meal to have or what to prepare for yourself, I want you to start to be more conscious of what are the foods that are going to make you feel awesome. Like $100. I think this is really important. It's just like how we pick our friends, how we pick our spouses. We don't pick things in our life that make us feel crappy. If we're smart, if we're intentional, right? If we're aware, if we are aware, intentional, and intelligent, we're going to pick things that make us feel great, make us feel good. So pick foods that make you feel like $1,000,000. And I want you to ingrain that in your mind, because I know that it's hard sometimes to make the right choice, right? And I think too many of us are basing our decisions off of just like spontaneity or just like quick fix, or it's a desire or a need that we're wanting right away. So sometimes we grab the unhealthy thing or whatnot. But if you actually took a moment to choose and you said, what's going to make me feel amazing after I eat? What's going to make me feel like $1,000,000? And that comes with getting more conscious too of your food. I always say, conscious eating is the key to feeling amazing after you eat. I know there's lots of people that don't respond the same to different foods. I can eat dairy and feel fine. Some people, bloated, right? I can eat grains fine. Some people, bloated. I cannot have oats for breakfast because afterwards I am tired. I am hungry. I know I need proteins in the morning. And so what you want to do is really get more in tune with how your food's making you feel, what foods make you feel crappy, what foods make you feel awesome, and choose the foods that make you feel awesome. Some people are going after the fad diets that work for their friend, or the quick fix diet that is helping people drop 20 pounds, but they start that diet and they're starving and they feel deprived. And they're going through crashes because they have no energy. That's not good. That food isn't making you feel like $1,000,000, which means it's not the right food for you. And it might be right for your friend who's thriving from that diet, but not for you. So my advice is to get conscious about what you're eating and what makes you feel awesome, what's making you feel bloated, what's not, what makes you feel satisfied for a while, what makes you feel hungry an hour later. What are you eating that really makes you feel energized? What are you eating that makes you feel tired, like you need to take a cat nap? Those are the things you want to think about. And the number one principle here to remember is I'm picking foods that make me feel like $1,000,000. And the way to do that is to get conscious of how food makes you feel. What foods make you feel what? I know that sometimes I just want to grab Cheetos, right? I'm on the road. I love grabbing snacks when I'm on the road. And I'll tell you about that little tip down the line of how I avoid eating a lot of snacks. But I love grabbing Cheetos or Funyuns or something when I'm on a road trip, because that stuff is nostalgic for me. I don't know. I think I did it when I was a kid or in college or whatnot. But after I eat it, I feel like I'm gonna be sick and take a nap. So it's the worst thing for a road trip, because you're not even moving, you're sitting, right? And you need to drive most of the time. And so it's just this awful, awful habit that I was in for a while. And I decided, no, I gotta pick foods that make me feel like $1,000,000, especially when I'm on the road and I'm traveling and I'm sitting for hours, right? So take that and run with it. Those of you that are like, oh, it's so hard to choose what to have and always pick the healthy meal, just say, I'm gonna pick foods that make me feel like $1,000,000. Okay, have I said it enough times? Awesome. All right, these are like my food philosophies, people. All right, number 2, I want you to pick foods that add more value to your day and to your life. They add more value, and that's quality value. I think that, this is really important because it also goes back to picking friends, picking significant others, picking, well, you can't always pick your kids or your family, but it's about what is adding value to your life, right? And we always need to pick things that add value to our life. Like you pick this podcast because it's adding value to your life. You're picking certain books, magazines, TV shows, newspaper articles, blogs. You're picking your friends. All these things should add value and be quality in your life. And if you're making good decisions, you're going to pick foods that add more value to your day, add more value to your life. And so with this philosophy, it comes back to real foods versus the fake shit. I'm just being straight up. How much value are you getting from what you eat, right? How long is that going to go? It's like, what's the mile that's going to give you? And how is that goes back to making you feel good, right? So I am not a calorie counter. I do not measure my food. And there's nothing against people that want to do that. You can do that all day long. I don't mind at all. As long as you're also thinking, what is adding more value for my body, for my cells, for my energy, right? And if you're weighing calories, that's why meals that are really high in calories aren't as, you can't say they're not as healthy. It just depends on what you're comparing. Because I could have a fillet of salmon, right, with a side of kale, garlic on there, maybe some sauteed carrots, because I love getting them a little sauteed. And that meal isn't going to be that high in calories, but think about the quality of those calories, the value that meal is going to give my body, all those healthy omega-3s that come from that salmon and the protein that comes from that salmon, and then also the protein and the nutrients and the minerals that come from those vegetables and the immunity boost that I get from that garlic. I'm thinking about the value that gives me. Or I could choose something else, like if I was gonna have, maybe it's a bowl of pasta, right? With a couple tomatoes, some basil, and on the side, there's a focaccia bread, right? Now right away, both of those meals are gonna be delicious. What meal is going to give you more value? And that's also what time of day it is. Do you need the one that's going to give you less nutrients, minerals, healthy fats, proteins, and things like that? Or do you need the one that's going to give you less, right? So you have to look at your options all the time and say, what's going to give me more value? I always look at Shakeology because it's my superfood that I drink every day. And I look at what value that one lunch meal gives me. I have it for lunch every day, right? It's the most value I can get in a meal all day long. There's no way I can get that many superfoods, minerals, vitamins, pre and probiotics, proteins, all in one meal any other way. I just can't. So I look at that value and I'm like, wow, I know if I'm getting that every day, I'm giving myself something of high value, right? It's the quality of that thing, even though it's just a shake, fills up this glass, right? It's about this size, 16 ounces. And it takes me about, 15, 20 minutes to sip it down slow, add a little avocado in there, a little almond milk, maybe sometimes half a frozen banana, whatever, right? But I know that if I made a sandwich and I added some meats and some cheese and some mayo and some mustard. I love me a sandwich, trust me, I have sandwiches all the time, but not for lunch because I know I'll feel tired and it's not the quality I need at my lunch hour on a daily basis. Of course, if I'm out and I'm at a convention and that's all they got, I'm gonna have a sandwich. And I'm not gonna feel worried about it. I'm just gonna say, you know what, my lunch wasn't as quality today. And so for dinner, I'm not gonna choose another meal that's low in quality nutrients and vitamins and proteins and healthy fats because I know my body's actually gonna be starving for that. So I'm not giving you like magical cures here. I'm giving you practical knowledge, right? Like pick stuff that makes you feel like $1,000,000. Pick foods that are of quality and give you more value in your life, right? And decide that more often than not. That's it, right? That is it. This is making you think about food differently. It's got to. If you start thinking this way on a regular basis, it will become more habitual, it will become easier, and I'm telling you, it will absolutely change the way you make decisions when you go to pick your food or when you stock your cabinets, which brings me to step number 3. This is huge. Bring home foods that represent the best of you. That's right. What you buy in the store is of huge importance when it comes to how you feel and how you eat. I see this all the time. People buy junk food. They do. And they bring it home and they give it a nice little house, a little home to live in and to fester and to intimidate and to control. That's right. That's what it does. Because if it's there, you will eat it, my friend. I know this for a fact. Everybody does it. There is absolutely no person that buys junk food that isn't tempted to eat it or does eat it regularly, right? If it's there, it is consumed or it's thrown away. So it's just a waste of your money after all. Here's the thing. If you consciously go to the grocery store and you say, all right, I'm gonna buy only foods that represent the best of who I wanna be and how I wanna feel. I wanna feel energized, I wanna feel healthy, I wanna live a long life, I wanna be a great role model to my family, I wanna feed my family well. And if you're going through the aisle and you've got the chips and you've got the soda and you've got the cookies and you've got the processed mac and cheese and you've got the processed frozen dinners and things that kind of aren't real foods, they're just kind of quick fixes and all that stuff. And I get it, those of you that need those quick handy dandy things, I got some other tips for you too, and I can give you some really, really good ideas on how to make yourself even the quickest, fastest heater-upper dinner that you could ever have in no time. But it's gonna be your decision on what you buy and how you prepare it. And if you buy stuff that's junky, you guys are gonna eat it, right? I always think about this because I say to my clients, junk food has a place, but not a home. Because we're gonna be in this world living with other people and going to parties and going to social gatherings. There's gonna be the crappy foods, there's gonna be the junk foods. Make that the time that you eat it, not at home, right? Don't give it a freaking home in the place where you live. That's like if you said, all right, I'm gonna bring home this bum date, this guy that treats me like crap, makes me feel bad about myself. I'm gonna sit him down at my dinner table with my family. That's what you're doing when you're buying the cookies and the candy and the chips and the soda. You're bringing that date home that makes you feel bad and crappy, even though you know it's not good. It doesn't represent who you are and who you wanna be and how you wanna represent yourself, but you're doing it. Nothing can stop you from doing that but you, right? If your spouse wants to buy junky foods and stock them in the cabinets, it's time to have a talk about your values. It really is. Like, I mean, you can say, babe, just like keep that crap in your car or just, at your office or, somewhere that I cannot even see it. Make a cabinet. I don't even know if you'd be able to avoid the cabinet, but you got to do what you got to do, right? So I know that's tough for those of you that have a spouse. I would say if that's the case, start compromising with the elimination process. Start saying, okay, well, if you absolutely need your chips, can we avoid buying soda in the house? Because I drink it, I don't want to be drinking soda. Can we start there? Start to compromise. Start to slowly eliminate the junky foods. Find those healthy substitutes and those replacements. All right? Number 4, and this is the 4th thing, and I think this is really going to change your mindset and your perspective around your foods, is think about having an abundant mindset around food versus a deprivation mindset. And I think this comes to play in many instances, right? When we want to lose weight, we think deprive, lower, lessen, get rid of, versus abundancy, give myself more, add more, nurture myself more. If you're trying to lose weight, I know that the last thing you're thinking is more, right? But when it comes to food, you want to think that. You want to think about give yourself more, but not the crappy stuff. More of the good stuff. Goes back to the quality. Goes back to what makes you feel like $1,000,000. Goes back to buying stuff that represents the best of you. So when you're going on that journey to weight loss and feeling better and having more energy and being healthier, think about what can I do to give myself more vitamins, more minerals, more superfoods, more nutrients, better proteins, healthier grains, more of those quality foods that make me feel amazing. Versus, all right, how can I cut calories? How can I get rid of certain things like altogether? I got to get rid of carbs altogether. Done. I got to get all sugar out. So get rid of the fruit, right? No, those foods give you good things, right? When you start depriving yourself of entire food groups, unless you're allergic or unless you have special conditions, or unless it's foods that don't feel good for you, then yes, you want to get those out of your diet. But when it's just to deprive yourself, that's when it's this negative relationship with food that you don't want to have. And think about this. Those of you that exercise and you start adding fitness into your life, you start saying, I'm going to start working out on a regular basis because I really need to get healthy. And so in doing that, you decide, I also need to cut down how much I eat. That is that deprivation mindset that's going to hurt you. Because my friends, when you start to exercise, your body needs even more nurturing. It needs even more calories to lose the weight and to keep your metabolism satisfied, so you don't start going into this starvation cycle where you're asking a lot of your body and you're giving it less. And with that kind of a negative, I don't know the exact word to describe that, but with that imbalance, you're hurting yourself. You're making it much harder on your body to lose weight because your body's saying, I need more, I need more, I need more, and you're giving it less, asking more of it, and it's saying, oh my God, what's happening? You've got to say, no, I got to give my body more of those superfoods, more quality nutrients. I got to buy better ingredients. I got to be fueling myself even better. It's like after your workout, people wait hours to eat. Not good. Think about abundancy. Give myself nourishment. Give my body fuel. That's why you're starving. Most people say, oh, I started working out. Now I'm starving. I'm hungry all the time. I say, add superfoods. Have a superfood shake every day after your workout, because now you need an extra snack. Because if you were eating little meals throughout the day and now you added fitness, your body's hungry, because you're not giving it the adequate nutrient value it needs to maintain a healthy, active lifestyle. You gotta level it up. You know, I eat a ton, right? And people are always like, wow, I can't believe you eat so much and you're so little. I'm like, that's because I have a healthy balance of activity and nutrition. When I'm not exercising hard and I'm not working out heavy, I don't need to eat as much. My body is not as hungry. Right? And so you've got to listen to yourself, but have an abundant mindset about things. Have an abundant mindset, but in the right way, saying, oh, I'm not rewarding myself with a burger and fries or chips or pizza because I worked out today. I worked out today, so I better give myself a superfood shake, or I better give myself that salmon kale salad for lunch, or I better add some healthy nuts and some carrots and hummus to my snack because I'm gonna be hungry. I'm gonna give myself more, not less, right? And it's true. You do want to cut calories in certain instances if you've been eating and overeating and having so much in your diet that's unnecessary. Slowly start to lower that if you need to. But in the most cases, most people just have to switch their mindset on it's not about the calories, it's about the quality of those calories. It's about eating to replenish and nourish, not to punish or to deprive. And that's the different thinking that comes along with having a healthy relationship with your food and eating in general, right? So I hope this has added a ton of insight and value for you on how to start thinking about food and how to start thinking about picking and choosing what you fuel yourself with. I want you guys to consider going through my 4-week mentorship program, the Never Diet Again course. It's a program that gives you a formula for how to think this way for a lot of different things, for your fitness, for your food, for feeling good about yourself. It's a way that you can say, I have complete control over how I think and feel about food, fitness, and about myself, that once you get through that mentorship program, there's no need for going after those diets. There's no need to feel like you need to find the next miracle drug or the next, plastic surgery to change your life. You guys have complete control. All it takes is a couple switches in the mindset. All it takes is a couple switches in habits and behaviors, and you've got your life where you want it, under your control, within your grasp, and I know you can do this. So I hope you'll take action. Make sure you check out the show notes and check it out. I would love to see you guys in there. There's been a lot of great feedback and a lot of women that are happy that they took action in deciding once and for all, I need to really have control over my life, over my health, over feeling good enough, over, worrying if I'm doing the right thing or not with my fitness and my food. It's time now to just once and for all take control. Get after it. All right? I hope this added so much value. Go and spread the love. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.